Good evening, everyone. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the Church Guy Sports post-game show for November 30th, 2023. New York Knicks win tonight, a game that was much closer than it needed to be over the Detroit Pistons, 118 to 112. A lot to unpack today. We welcome back the originator of the McCann rant. Bishop J is back with us after being blacked out in Atlanta for a while.
Oh, God, let me tell you. Pleasure to be back, fellas. I didn't get a chance to say it to you, but I hope you guys had a blessed and prosperous Thanksgiving. And listen, glad to be back. I missed it. I was in the chats.
Yes,
but,
definitely.
I was in the chats and engaged, but Atlanta, that's all I could say. Great win for tonight. Good win. Won't say great win. Good win. You beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and this is a team that the Knicks are supposed to beat. Of course, we're gonna get into it because this shouldn't have been this close.
Not at all. Not at all.
2-16. I mean, yes, they're an NBA team, but they are 2-16. Cade Cunningham had a great game, and Sasser. You'll get into it, Lord. Hold up, Bishop. I'm sure you will. But just glad they got the win because listen, in years past, this would have went a different way. So I'm very happy. Happy they didn't lose it. Forget about winning it. I'm happy they didn't lose.
I am more every single game, even with wins, I am more and more convinced that Tom Thibodeau is not the coach for this unit of play, like for this group of, again, like I said, I think he did what he was supposed to do. It's time for us to look for Joshua. Moses has taken us as far as he can. Now we need somebody to get us over to Jordan because we're not going to win against good teams playing with the system that he's running. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You only played 9 players.
That's every night. That's his rotation. He
That's
plays
his
9
rotation.
guys. And you got a big game in Toronto tomorrow, but you played 9 guys tonight.
He played 9 guys, and
he's only gonna play those same 9 guys tomorrow.
Again, and you played those 9 guys against a 2-16 Pistons team. Keep that in mind. You played this game like it was a playoff game. You shortened the rotation.
That's trying to figure out who they are.
Why would you shorten your rotation against this squad? This is the time you spread the minutes out and rest.
You see what I said? Yeah, you see what I said in the chat. Yes. When we went up 16, the
bench should have came in.
Bring the bench in, because I'm sure that our bench would have ran that score up. They would have ran that score up because our bench is lethal. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, I think we got the best bench in the league.
I would agree with that.
I think we have the best bench in the league.
The 4 guys he plays plus RJ Barrett with that group leading it, I'll put them up against any bench in the NBA, period.
Yeah. And and that's been the recurring theme on our show. He does not make adjustments.
And
he does not make adjustments.
I'm sorry, what is this not playing RJ for the final 8 minutes of the fourth quarter in a close game? Now, you need RJ Barrett on the floor, And
you don't put him out there. And this is the thing that drives me crazy with this guy. It's like he does yin against yang. He does potato, tomato.
he's holding RJ back now. Now
What
he's
are we
holding
doing?
RJ back. RJ stepped his game up, came out playing unbelievably this season, and I've noticed the last couple of games he's on the bench in crunch time. What is that?
He thinks he's helping him by resting his knee, I guess. But if you're going to play him, you play him. If you're playing him, you play him. What are you babying him for? I mean, and then you got, Randall had a great game last game. That double-double was killer. It was a great game. But Randall is not going to come back like that again. You know that. At least as the coach, you should know that. He shot 4 air balls tonight in the first half.
You're absolutely right. But I normally I would go off on Randall, but his stat line is 2 assists short of a triple-double tonight.
I get that.
Right?
I get that.
But if he turns the ball over 5 times,
that's what I'm saying.
Right. He turned the ball.
He's got empty stats, bro. These stats are kind of empty sometimes.
He had 3 turnovers tonight, and they were turnovers at the beginning of the game. Y'all know I'm not a Randall fan. Y'all know I'm not.
Free throws.
He was 3 for 6. That's unacceptable.
Come on.
That's unacceptable. But Randall looked like a closer tonight too.
I'm not gonna kill him tonight. I'm not gonna kill him tonight.
But he's got to be better. Now that 20, I'm gonna take this 29 points because obviously we needed 29 points against a 2-20 team. We needed these 29 points. We should not have needed these 29 points.
And 40 from Brunson.
42 from Brunson.
And 42 from Brunson.
We should not have needed 29 and 42 from them two. We should not have needed that. We should have been. Let me tell you what I also noticed. When that ball moves around for our Knicks, we are a much better team.
That's where that second unit comes in.
We are a much better team.
That second unit is all about getting the best shot.
Oh my goodness!
Even
when that ball swings,
misses are on good looks. So you're not even mad at it because it's like, okay, he just missed that.
I'm just so sick of Tibbs.
And you see, I'm not saying nothing. Y'all see that, right?
The game is isolate Randall in the high post, or it's isolate Brunson at the top of the key or in the middle. Like it's like when those two are in the game. And again, don't get me wrong, they are fantastic ISO players. Brunson is a fantastic ISO player. Randall is hit or miss depending upon who's guarding him. But
right, because he got his shot he got that big shot on the baseline. That's his shot.
That's his shot. That's his pet shot.
We know that's his pet shot. Yeah,
absolutely. But I would so much rather watch the second unit play because they play the game the way I was taught to play the game.
It's so frustrating. I was looking at a stat today, and they were talking about now that the Knicks are in this knockout tournament. I know we're going to get to it, but
how many get knocked out?
How many times they got to play now? How many times they're going to play Boston this year or
Milwaukee?
They got to play Milwaukee 5 times this year.
I mean, that doesn't really bother me because Milwaukee's beatable.
They are beatable.
They're beatable. Agree. They're beatable. I say because they're in the early stages. I don't know if they're going to be so beatable playoff time, but yes, right now, they're beatable. I just don't think we're going to beat them with the coach we got. That's my thing. In a 7-game series, I don't trust Tibbs. I'm sorry. I don't trust him in a 7-game series against those top 2 teams, the Celtics and the Bucks. I don't.
I mean, the Knicks are not ready to make that leap to the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference. They
echelon.
Milwaukee and Boston are the cream of the crop. They are the cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference, and the Knicks are not there yet. They are
And Philly
they
and
are a tier
Philly
below. They are a
and
tier below,
Philly
but
and Philly.
Philly's coming.
Philly ain't coming. Philly is there.
Philly's there.
Philly, it was addition by subtraction. They got rid of
Yes.
James Harden, and their chemistry was fixed.
Yes. And Maxey is playing lights
killing.
out.
He's killing. He's killing.
So that's why we were saying at first the Knicks were number 3. I got to change that a little
Knicks
right
are number
now.
4.
The Knicks are 4. The Knicks are 4. They're not 3. Because Philly, I mean, this dude had a triple-double the other night, last night. Embiid. He had a 30-point triple-double.
Philly's a good basketball team.
Got to give it to him.
Embiid's going to have to stay healthy, but if he does, Philly is right at the top. They're right there.
And again, that leaves the Knicks in the mid. Right now, the Knicks are the 6th, tied for 6th. They were going into tonight. They were tied for 6th with Indiana.
Right. So what you have is what we've been saying for the last several weeks and the last several podcasts, which was simply, with a mid team, it's going to be coaching that makes the difference. Because having seen Miami up close for the first time the other night against us, Miami's actually below mid. Like
they've lost 3 straight.
Right, and they're not good, but their coach is going to keep them in the middle of the pack because he's a great coach.
He's going to give them a chance to win every game.
So with a Spoelstra type coach with the Knicks team, they would be in the top 2 or 3 in the conference because the talent wise they can compete with anyone. But X's and O's.
Just think if Spoelstra was coaching this Knicks team.
Don't want to think about it. Spoelstra was coaching this Knicks team, we'd be first or second right now.
Yes. Him coaching a Jalen Brunson and a Quickly off the bench and a Devo and a Josh Hart.
Because that team's going to defend.
Those are Raleigh type players.
They're going to fight. They're going to defend. And he knows how to play the hot hands. He knows how to
they're gonna practice. And they're gonna practice.
Oh, it's gonna be 3-hour practices. You heard Monty Williams talking about it.
He's gonna live and breathe with the tape. He's gonna sleep.
Game day. They're gonna practice.
Right, Pat Riley.
you heard Monty Williams, but that's how those teams get better. That's how you get cohesion. That's how those teams become. That's how you build culture. That is really how you build culture.
That's how you build a Knicks team that had Patrick Ewing as the star and everybody else was a role player.
Yep.
That's how you get maximum effort out of a team. When you have attention to detail in the film room, the coach has you believing that y'all can beat anybody.
Like the Knicks were legitimate finals contenders for 10 straight years.
Unheard of in New York. This generation don't even know nothing about that.
From 1991 to 2001, the New York Knicks were legitimate NBA Finals contenders.
And then we got Scott Layden.
Save that. That show is coming up. We got to decide on a date. We got to decide. Maybe we'll do that around Christmas. But
is Scott Layden the one that traded Ewing?
Yes.
Yes.
He should be killed. They should put him like.
But in all fairness, the guard had put pressure on, told him to do it. The guard had told him to do it.
Well, Patrick decided he wanted out anyway.
Yeah, because he didn't want to come off the bench and he didn't want minutes. He still wanted you to lead off.
Once they fired Checketts, it was all downhill from that point.
That's it.
Because that was Patrick's guy.
And Van Gundy left, you know?
Van Gundy left, and then they fired Checketts the next year. Patrick was like, oh, writing's on the wall. Let me get out of here while I got a couple of years left.
Let me go to Seattle. Let me go to Orlando.
Yeah.
That proved to be nothing.
The interesting thing is Patrick says that is his one regret of his career. He said if he had it to do over again, he would not have asked for a trade, and he would have just finished his entire career as a New York Knick.
This man was in Seattle, and then he was on the Magic.
Well, now that you bring up the Magic have won 7-8 straight games.
The Orlando Magic, they have found something.
The Magic up, it's going to be very. Listen, the Knicks have always had problems with Orlando since Tibbs has been here. That's going to be when I don't even know when they're playing them, but that's going to be a very interesting game.
It is. It absolutely is. And Orlando is one of those teams that has surprised a lot. It's going to be interesting to see after Christmas if they come back down to earth. But right now they're playing out of their minds. Indiana's playing out of their minds right now.
Suggs is really that guy. Suggs. I mean, he has.
I knew Jalen Suggs was going to be a problem from the beginning. Like
from college. Yeah.
You knew he was going to be somebody. And, to see that talent coming to fruition, Cole Anthony is now coming into his own as well.
And what's the other guy? The other guy that be putting up the big numbers. I forget his name.
I can't.
Light skinned dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I can't think of the boy name.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They got a great.
Paulo Banchero.
That's it, Banchero. Yep, Banchero.
And they've got the Wagner brothers who are great role players. The Wagner brothers are great role players. Like they're believing in Orlando.
That Orlando team, man, I'm telling you, they scary, Doc. They scary.
Tonight's game was if tonight's game gave us any indication of anything, it told us that one, we are a team with great potential, but we have a coach that is stifling that potential. He's not getting what he should be getting out of this team. And RJ is the kind of player that if you didn't have him, he would come back and torch us.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. If RJ
Mitchell Robinson,
he's going to come back to the Garden and put up 40 that night.
Mitchell Robinson also is the kind of player that would come back and torch us. I'm not understanding why we're not dumping the ball down low. We should be dumping the ball down low. Mitchell Robinson, first of all, I think many people forget that. I would call a couple of
clear outs a game for him. I would dump it into the post and call a couple of clear outs for him.
But that's the coach, man.
He's shown he can put the ball on the floor and make moves.
This is the coach, though.
To get his own shot.
The coach. He doesn't believe in him.
When we got Mitchell Robinson, the crazy thing is because we got him and we was in the pits of hell as a team when we got him.
With a second rounder. Yep.
With a second rounder. And draft leading up to the draft, maybe about a month and a half leading up to the draft, I'm really looking at college. I'm just, I'm watching clips of college. I'm watching combines and all of that. And this kid was not in anybody's college. Nope. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I gotta do some research. So I think he played overseas or something like that 1 year for that 1 year. Because you're supposed to be, 1 year removed from high school, and then you qualify. Yeah. Then you qualify for the draft. Mitchell Robinson can play. Mitchell Robinson is a bona fide center. Mitchell Robinson is a young Patrick Ewing. He is a young Patrick Ewing. The problem is that many people have not seen his game. But if they go back and watch his game, Mitchell Robinson is the Patrick Ewing with the pot in his head. Y'all remember that, Pat?
He was a defensive player in college. He wasn't even Patrick wasn't an offensive player.
He wasn't known for his offense. I mean, the offensive game was there, but his defense was so off the charts.
Yes.
His defense is so off the charts. But if you dump that ball down low for Pat, he was going to convert. He was going to convert. And Mitchell Robinson has the same kind of type game. It's not as polished as Pat's game overall became. But if you use him down in the box like that, that's one. Two, if you put him and Hartenstein down low at the same time, you give yourself an incredible advantage.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
But with those two, he
wouldn't play. He wouldn't play Obi and Randall last year. He's definitely not going to play Hartenstein and Robinson.
Nope.
this like because
I agree
mean,
with you. I agree with you.
At most, you might get Jericho Sims with one of the others, but you're not going to.
It's unbelievable, like because, like, first of all, there ain't no teams in the NBA that have that size. We have size.
Toronto has the size.
Toronto has that size.
Toronto is long.
Yeah,
and
we'll
Milwaukee
definitely
has
find
that
that out
size.
tomorrow.
We're going to find that out tomorrow night.
Milwaukee has that size as well.
Right, and that's when.
So that out of 30 teams,
putting that rotation in there. At times, so not for long times.
No,
but that lineup you said, Butler, put it in there. Let them feel you a little bit.
Yeah,
for at least 5 minutes a quarter. For at least every quarter, 5 minutes. Put that big lineup in there, and put Devo out there, Brunson and Randall, or RJ Randall and Devo. However you want to do it. You put them two down low and put your 3 offensive players on the wings. Let them feel us down there.
Because if you dump it,
fun against Milwaukee, you play Randall at the 3.
You listen to me. If you dump it down there with the 2 of them down there, either place you dump it to, you got to double. You have to double.
He's gotten better this year.
He can score.
He can score the ball.
And he's a great passer.
Yes. You gotta double. And so if you collapse on Hartenstein, he can give it to Mitch. If you collapse on Mitch, he can give it to Hart. If you collapse on Hart, he's a great passer. He can put it back out.
Randall, and that's one thing I wanted to say tonight too. And you brought it up that he was too shy of a triple-double. Randall's a good passer.
Randall's a great passer.
I wish he would pass more. He's
not going to do that. Yeah, you ask a hard thing. He's not going to.
I know. Again, it's wishful thinking.
This guy was trying to drive in the hole. There's 8 people on him. He's trying to drive.
He was trying to have a birthday game, guys. That's what he was trying to do.
He was trying to have a birthday game.
He was trying to have a birthday game.
He got his 29 for 29 tonight.
Yeah, but he wanted to be the leading scorer, but Brunson
got his 29. Brunson gave up 42 tonight.
Gave him 40, gave him a 4-2 piece.
It was a beautiful 42. That's a
He
Jackie Robinson night.
First half.
That's a Jackie Robinson night.
Somebody needs to sit down with Julius Randle and tell him it's time to check the ego.
Isn't that the coach's job?
You are not the alpha on this team. The alpha on this team is Jalen Brunson.
Isn't that the coach's job?
Yes, it is. You can be our second option. You can be our third option.
Because we keep saying somebody needs to talk to him. We keep saying somebody needs to talk to him. Isn't that somebody Tom Thibodeau?
It's supposed to be.
Okay. And if he doesn't do it, then who else is going to do it?
Nobody, apparently. Apparently, nobody.
Listen.
I feel a McCants rant coming.
No.
Before it comes, do us a favor. Like, share, tag, comment. Hashtag McCant rant. Just
listen, I'm not going to rant, man. But I'm just telling you, it's gut wrenching watching this coach, man. And it's just gut wrenching. It's like we already know they're not going to get a superstar. They're not going to get him. We had a chance. I think we missed our window to get somebody.
With who?
With anybody. I think trying to get anybody packaging the. Listen, we waited to try to get Embiid. They told somebody Embiid is not going anywhere with the Sixers playing like that, and they're not going to let him go to the rival Knicks.
Right? They're not trading him in his division.
And then
we can't get a star. Let's talk about that.
Minnesota's number is like in the top 3 out west. So
Let's talk about
not
that.
Going anywhere.
Let's talk about that. We can't get a star.
We can't get a star. We
in
stuck,
New
bro.
York, in the Mecca
with draft picks, mind you. With draft picks.
We can't get a star player.
With
what is that about?
With number 1 draft picks.
There are a couple of reasons for that. First, for me anyway, the most obvious reason is the fact that it's New York, and so any front office is going to have to pay the New York tax. Teams want more for their players to send them to New York than any place else. Think about it. Danny Ainge with the trade with Cleveland. The Knick offer was better. But he wanted more because it was the Knicks. That's what it was. That is the curse of being an original six New York NBA
and it was
franchise.
Dolan. And Dolan is the owner.
I think that would be reason number two.
That would be reason number two. That would be reason
number two. Free agents. But that has to do.
That's for free agents. Yeah.
That has to do with free agency, right? Because free agents don't want to play for Dolan. They have blacklisted him as an owner. They don't want to come here. The only people that have come here is the people that would never be considered a star on any other team. Julius Randle.
Or guys who need to rebuild their
or they're on the downside of their career. Amari Stoudemire, knees were shot by the time he got here. Yeah.
Oh God, put me in the casket right now.
Yeah.
Knicks gave him $100 million for 5 years, which was big money back then.
Listen, they gave Houston 110 for 7.
Did we get that 5 years out of him?
We got 3 good years out of him.
We got 3 good years out of him.
Which, hey, listen, given the state of the franchise at that time, that was a good investment, honestly.
And Felton Spencer played his best ball of his career when he came to New York.
Raymond Felton.
Yeah, Raymond Felton. I said Felton Spencer. Raymond Felton. Well, we know who Felton Spencer is, the center. But Raymond Felton played his best ball.
Raymond Felton played great basketball and got traded because he got traded in that Carmelo trade.
He was in the original Carmelo trade.
That's when your boy Dolan got involved.
Dolan gutted the franchise
and gutted the team to get Melo here. And what's his name was saying, no, let's wait. Even if we don't get him in this year, we'll get him in free agency. We can sign him outright. He's going to be a free agent. Donnie Walsh like, don't get involved. I got this. He jumped in.
I mean, granted, we talked about this before. El made a very good point about the fact that the CBA was changing that next year, and Melo wanted to push for that trade because he needed to make sure that his guaranteed money was going to be on that previous.
But that's why they should have waited it out.
I would have waited it out
because Melo wanted out. That's why Walsh was like, yo, listen, wait, we got this. He's going to force them to get him out of there for what we want. And Dolan was not patient. He jumped in, gave him everything.
Never mind the fact that you were building a good basketball team. So I'm sure Donnie Walsh was thinking, it's like, listen, it's a win-win for us. Melo forces his way out. We get him for nothing. Even if he doesn't come here, we're set up for the future. So we're good no matter what. Because they were. You had Raymond Felton. You had Wilson Chandler, Landry Fields. You had Danilo Gallinari. That team, and you had Amari as the centerpiece.
And they were cooking, man.
Yeah.
That's
Amari
the thing.
was playing at an all-star level. Gallinari was looking like he was going to be Rookie of the Year that year.
Wilson Chandler was coming into his own.
Was great. You had a team. You had a team.
I was looking at a replay, an old Knick game today. I'm gonna give y'all a blast on the past. Remember, you know who holds the assist record in a game for the Knicks? Chris Duhon. They showed the Chris Duhon game when he dished out 22 dimes.
That year that D'Antoni ruined Stephon Marbury's career. Horrible. And then you be mad at Marbury because I remember that season vividly. Marbury was coming off that whole Isaiah Thomas mess. He was looking to rehab his image. He showed up to D'Antoni's press conference like, yeah, coach, I'm ready. Came to camp in the best shape of his life. Outplayed Duhon the entire preseason. And you named Duhon the starter? You were trying to send a message.
We remember We gonna save this for the show.
Chris Duhon over Stephon Marbury.
Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, we're gonna have fun with that show. That's gonna be one of our best shows, man, because we're gonna go down memory lane.
You bench Nate Robinson for 14 games, and he come back and put up 40 off the bench. And I saw him in an interview say, they asked him, he's like, why did you get benched? He's like, I still to this day don't know.
We had David Lee.
David Lee, one of the greatest rebounders in history.
We had David Lee.
Man went to Golden State, got a ring.
Oh.
Wow.
How many Knicks left here and got rings?
They got sent to the Golden State and paired them with David West, and they won the championship.
Won the championship, got a ring. But guys, I'm glad the Knicks got a win tonight. But tomorrow, I think it's going to be a little tough tomorrow, guys. I'm just
tomorrow.
Gonna be honest with you.
It is going to be tough, especially since Jalen Brunson had to play 40 minutes tonight. Julius played 33 minutes, so you didn't get to rest any of your players, and you're going up to Toronto, where traditionally you have not played well.
Siakam and what's the other guy?
Anunoby.
They talking about him trying to get him, and the Knicks. That's probably who they'll get, but they'll overpay for him.
Well, I mean, Toronto's not doing any deals with the Knicks either right now because they're embroiled.
They're in court. They're in court.
So,
yeah, the Knicks are suing them.
You
can't make it up with our franchise, man. We can't get out of our own way. We just can't.
Dolan.
Yes. Can't get out of our own way. How are you suing another NBA franchise in the season?
In season.
In the beginning, and we're in the beginning of the season.
Like, you couldn't wait till after June to do this?
And then on top of that video that Butler sent today, which was great.
Great video, yes.
It was very good about Mark Jackson. I had already seen the Mark Jackson piece, but that whole way that Stephen A. laid it out.
Y'all are full of.
Yeah.
Yo, Stephen A. laid it out. And
he laid it out there, man.
True
It
statement.
was can't. Listen, we get on Stephen
he asked the question we've all been asking, like, with all of the stuff that we know is going on in the NBA, how does Mark Jackson not get another shot?
Right. Just think.
Ime Udoka got another shot.
I was just going there. Ime Udoka got them boys in Houston playing some ball. She got another job. All right. They wanted to bring him to Brooklyn before Durant and Kyrie left. But they they was like, no, it's just too soon. They was trying to get him in season. Okay? And here go Mark Jackson, who ain't never been connected to nothing like that.
Nothing crazy.
Y'all keep come on, man.
Mark Jackson's being blackballed on lies. And like Stephen A. said, you got guys who are getting jobs, and we know what they did.
And some of the stuff we don't know, like he said, but he know.
Right. I'm like, Stephen A., expose it. Tell it.
Yeah, Stephen A. gonna do that. Stephen A. gonna do that. That's like he's saying, y'all know, but it's just unfortunate that Mark Jackson can't. I think Brooklyn should do the unthinkable and sign him.
Brooklyn hires Mark Jackson.
Because listen, New York, let's just face it, the Knicks are not going to do it. They're not going to do it. It's not happening.
That's increasingly clear.
We might as well just give it up as Knicks fans. Mark is not going to be coaching this team, especially if Dolan is still the owner.
The Knicks just don't have a history of bringing back their players who actually have basketball minds. Like, again, taking nothing away from the Starkses, the Spreewells, the Larry Johnsons.
They're ambassadors, not coaches.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. They're there as ambassadors. They would, because Allen Houston even, like, they don't have the coaching mindset. But you've got guys who are New Yorkers. I mean, granted, Patrick Ewing wasn't born here. He was born in Jamaica. Yeah, he played college ball at Georgetown, but it was the Big East. And everybody knows that the Big East Conference, New York was the hub of that conference, period. Because whether you came to play at St. John's or you played in the Big East tournament, which he did for 4 years at Madison Square Garden, New York was the hub of that conference. So You've got New York guys. Patrick Ewing is a New York guy. Mark Jackson is a New York guy.
Listen, we talking about Queens, New York.
Queens, New York here. So went to St. John's, you know.
And what high school? What high school did he go to? What high school did Mark Jackson go to?
Bishop Loughlin.
Bishop Loughlin. Come on, he's a New York guy.
Brooklyn and Queens.
Come on, he's
Bishop
done what New York? How do you not bring this guy here?
And he's a great basketball mind. So it's not even a nostalgia play. He's actually a good coach. Like Stephen A. said, this man won 96 games in 2 years with the Golden State Warriors, got fired and can't get another job.
Listen,
he has a Golden State was getting ready to
Golden State was getting ready to give up on Steph Curry.
Yep.
And Mark said, I can work with him.
Monte Ellis was closing games.
Monte Ellis. They kept waiting on Steph's ankles to heal. Every year his ankles was damaged. It took 2 years for him to heal. 2 seasons. And when Mark came, Mark said, let me work with him. That dude went off for 54 in the Garden. I'll never forget that night. I'll never forget that night.
Crazy
that
thing
dude.
Is Steph was supposed to be a Knick.
Yes.
Can you imagine the trajectory of the franchise changing if Golden State doesn't draft him at 7 and they let him fall to 8?
But the Knicks would the Knicks have been as patient with him for 2 years?
Well, that's true.
See, that's the ankle thing. And that ankle.
They wouldn't have been as patient.
And that ankle. He probably would not have survived the New York.
We wouldn't have been as patient. We would have been like, get rid of this guy. This is a wasted pick. Let him go. You know how New Yorkers are. You know how we are.
Now, I will say, although we won that game, Steph did come in the Garden and give us 50 plus points.
He gave us a 50 piece.
54.
It was either a Friday night or a Saturday night. I was watching that game. This dude ran down to the other end of the court and was like, I'm on fire. He was shaking. He ran from the other end and was like, ah.
You know, there's a part of me that wants to say that was the birth.
No.
Steph,
you're exactly right. Say it.
Of the Steph Curry that we've seen for the last 12 years.
That was the birth of the Steph Curry era. Yes, it was.
Yeah. When
Madison
he gave us 54 points, he walked out of that Garden, even though we won and they lost, he walked out of that Garden like, oh, nobody can stop me.
It's like what they say in wrestling. The Knicks went over, but Steph Curry got over.
Yeah.
The Knicks went over. They won.
I'm trying to find the record.
But Steph Curry got over. He got over that.
I'm trying to find the record that the Knicks had when we traded for Carmelo Anthony, when we traded Ronaldo Bachman. No.
Was it Jordan?
We got Ronaldo Bachman, but they traded Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Timofey Mozgov.
Yes.
A 2014 first round pick, 2 second round picks in 12-13 originally belonged to the Warriors, and $3 million in cash.
That's your owner. That's your owner getting involved where he shouldn't. That's your owner.
Now, granted, Melo wanted to come to New York.
Knicks were 25 and 22 at the time of the trade.
Okay, so I can't go too crazy.
Yes, you can, because they went 17 and 18 the rest of the way.
And I actually went. I think I called you, Butler. I actually went. I was on vacation in Orlando, and we bought tickets to go see Melo play in Orlando. I believe that was his second game as a Knick. Mm-hmm. And I went to see him play in the Amway Center. I went to see him play. Me, my wife, and 2 people of your acquaintance. We went to we went to see them play.
So the Knicks were 25-22 at the
And
time.
I'm
of
sure
the
he
trade.
knew nothing about it because he's not a basketball fan. So he was looking
Absolutely
around like,
not. They
touchdown!
They were just tagging along, Butler. That's all. That was strictly for me and Cynthia. That's all it was. They were just there
My
to
man
go.
looked like Eddie Murphy. He looked like Prince Hakeem in Coming to America at the
Yes!
St. John's basketball game.
Like, what are you
Yes!
doing? It's halftime.
Foul!
It was, and they lost that game. They lost.
I
That
remember.
game too.
Yeah, it was one of those 18 losses.
Yeah, they one of those 18 losses. And
Oh,
17.
I even went to the Barclays and seen the Knicks play when Darren Williams was still on the Nets, and they came back and beat the Knicks in that game. They were leading in that game in the fourth, and there were people in the garden chanting MVP. And I remember this white guy behind me started talking about. He said MVP. I'll never forget that. He said that to me like that. I'll never forget that. I was like, listen, bro, it's still a Knick town. That's what I told him.
Always going to be a Knick town.
New York is a Knick town forever. I don't care what nobody say.
That's
But
true.
yeah, like I was saying, Melo wanted to come here.
Yes.
And that was around the time. You remember we needed to make that trade, even though we did get Stoudemire. We needed to make that trade public relations wide. Because remember, we got burned by LeBron just a few months prior. LeBron was supposed to be coming to New York. It was a foregone conclusion. What killed us was taxes. And they had to,
You mean Donnie Walsh in a wheelchair didn't kill us?
Donnie Walsh.
As opposed to Pat Riley walking in
And throwing his rings on the table.
And throw his rings on the table.
You want one of these? Come to Miami. Basically, that was the pitch. You want one of these? Come to Miami.
Well, I mean, also Dwayne Wade taking that pay cut.
Well,
Bosh agreeing to go.
But that was just it. The three of them had already made, and Wade said it. He said they had already decided they were playing together. It was just a matter of where.
Wait, at Carmelo's wedding.
Right.
They came up with this scheme at Carmelo's wedding.
While Chris Paul was making a toast like, all right, let's form a big three in New York.
Chris Paul did say it.
That was his toast as the best man in the wedding.
Chris Paul did say it. He said,
here's to your wedding and to us forming a big three in New York.
We would have won a chip if we would have.
I think Chris Paul, Melo, and Amari Stoudemire, as long as he doesn't punch that fire extinguisher, we either win a chip or we fight in Miami tooth and nail for that chip that year.
No, that year we would have beat Miami because Miami wasn't clicking. They wasn't clicking. Yeah. Remember, they lost to Dallas in the finals that year.
And people can say what they want about Chris Paul, but Chris Paul is a glue guy. He brings teams together.
Absolutely.
The Knicks shouldn't have lost to Indiana that year with Mike Woodson as the coach. They shouldn't have.
That team was falling apart at the end, though. They was over.
They shouldn't have. Yeah, because Jason Kidd couldn't hit a three to save his life.
To save his life.
I'm like, just hit one. Just hit one.
Jason Kidd gave us
the crazy thing though is that
regular season he was killing it.
That was the highest point percentage of his career that season during the regular season.
Playoffs, he couldn't buy a three.
And everybody was like, you know what? He just ran out of threes.
And Roy Hibbert, who they drove out the league because the league changed.
Yep. He was the last of the pure centers.
Yeah.
You know,
he blocked Melo on the dunk.
Yeah, but Paul George gave Melo some work in that series.
He did.
And that's the thing, because I thought we had a great chance in that series, mainly because they weren't going to have Danny Granger.
The Knicks should have won that series, man.
And Paul
It's because
George
they dropped
emerged.
that first game at home, and they never could. They couldn't win on the road. They
But
couldn't win in Indiana.
But the problem started in round one when they didn't close out Boston the way they should have.
And remember, in the closeout game, Boston went on that 18-6 run, man.
Yep.
That was just
It
crazy.
made it close.
I still to this day ain't never seen a run like that. 18-6. It was crazy.
That was the last hurrah before Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett
got shipped
in
to Brooklyn.
Came to
What
Brooklyn.
the hell? What was they doing in Brooklyn?
Prokhorov felt like he was trying to capture. He was trying to capture New York. Yeah,
trying to fill them seats.
Listen, I respect Prokhorov. Prokhorov for a moment was the George Steinbrenner of basketball. He was willing to do whatever it took to
And
try to win.
What was the GM name? The black guy. What was his name?
Billy King.
Billy King. Yeah. Listen, I wish we had a GM aggressive. We sitting on these draft picks now because they're afraid sitting on these draft picks. And I don't see anybody in college that's like, oh my goodness, he's going to change the franchise.
But this is where you've got to get creative as a franchise and use those picks and those bench players like that you're not playing, like Fournier, and you've got to become creative with how you start maneuvering to build your team. But I think part of the problem is the coach is in the way because the coach has his guys. And
I have a theory about that too.
Bringing in some more talent when the coach is not going to play him. Again, because I felt like they were trying to do that when they made the Cam Reddish deal 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh, this is great. More young talent. Pair him with RJ. This is going to be good. Two Duke boys. And, all you missing is Zion at that point. So you're trying to make some moves, and the coach doesn't play Cam Reddish.
And I'm starting to think that what you call needs to go to the bench now, man.
Grimes?
Yeah. I'm starting to think he needs to go to the bench. We're getting nothing from him now. He's not even closing out. He's not even on the floor at the end of the game anymore.
He's becoming expendable.
Yep. And again, I think they held on to Grimes too. If they was going to trade him, he had value. Now Grimes has no value he has no trade value.
They didn't want to include him in the Donovan Mitchell deal. Now it looks like maybe you should have made that trade. Because he's like you said, he's not even finishing games for you now.
He's not even finishing games. He's not even on the floor. He's not. And when he's out there, do you see the bricks he put up tonight throwing up from three? He can't even hit a 3-pointer anymore.
I mean, no, he's been shooting decently. This was his first really bad shooting night in a little while. He's been on, and Quickly was off tonight too. Those two will both do bad shooting games. But I agree, he's not seeing the floor in crunch time. So what did you hold on to him for if he's not going to be closing games for you? You hold on to guys who are closing games for you, but he's not. So why didn't you go ahead and trade for Donovan Mitchell? And I'm not even saying they should have. I do think they were better off without Mitchell, at least through last year. But when you think about it, there are some games that Donovan Mitchell probably could have won you by himself this year.
Well,
especially if you're not going to have.
It's like
Grimes is our defensive specialist. That's what he
is. Like Stephen A. said.
You took the words out of my mouth.
You throw him the ball and be like, yo, go close me out.
Right. You're not going to do that with Quentin Grimes. Exactly. You're not going to do that with Quentin Grimes.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Dwayne. He's a defensive specialist. Nobody's getting past him.
I mean, Quentin Grimes' value is in the fact that he's going to take the toughest defensive assignment every night.
He's going to take it. So I don't need him to score, to be honest with you.
But
I don't need him to score.
RJ's defense has come up this year too. So
but
now
that's why he's on the bench. That's why Grimes is on the bench in the fourth now.
Because now RJ can guard those players at the end of games.
What are you saying, Jay? What are you saying, Jay? RJ's on the bench in the fourth quarter too. The coach sucks.
Yeah, that's just bad.
Oh my goodness! Don't.
That shot that made with Phoenix the other night that was he's again falling out of bounds. They defended it well. RJ did a great job on Jimmy Butler the game before that in the fourth quarter. So Grimes became expendable.
Yeah, that shot from. But
isn't Grimes starting? Grimes is starting, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying. I don't think I think you could bring him off the bench as a defensive stopper, than starting him on the floor. But like I think Devo deserves a shot there, or if you're not going to put in Devo, put in Josh Hart. But again, that's because Tibbs doesn't expand his bench. If he expanded his bench, then you could do something like that. But because that rotation is so short, 9 players, I think it's so short.
9 players, less than 20. I mean, I see you tighten your rotation after the All-Star break because you're making a playoff push and you want to. Because that's when Riley would. And I hate to compare anybody to Pat Riley because Pat Riley's Pat Riley. But that's when you notice early season, Pat Riley played everybody. After the All-Star break, you got down to the last 15, 20 games of the season. Riley would begin to tighten his rotation for the playoffs.
Anthony Bonner went to the bench and didn't get up.
It became an 8-man rotation.
But everybody knew and understood because they knew he was going to put the best lineup out there for him to win the games and to win this championship. That's what was going to happen. But you weren't mad because you played the first 60 games.
But they were also well conditioned. These teams and these players that Tim's running these guys in the ground. He's a Riley disciple, yes, but you're not conditioning them like Riley did. They're not conditioned that way. So by the time the end of the season comes, these guys are out of gas. Whereas when Riley would get to the end of the season, these guys were just hitting their second win.
I wonder if they know what a suicide is.
I'm sure they do. I don't know if they've done
from high school.
Yeah, from high school, maybe even college. But yeah, because if you played for Calipari or Patino or one of them in college, you still ran suicides. But after that, yeah, they don't know what that is.
Yeah, and that's the problem, man. These guys are so out of That's the problem with Tibbs every year he's been here. By the time we've gotten to the end of the season, he's played all these guys these minutes, shorten the rotation. By the time they get to the playoffs, Randall has no legs. He has no legs. He has no lift on his jump shot because he's playing them all these minutes. And again, you play him these minutes tonight. Watch how many minutes this guy plays him tomorrow night.
Oh, he's going to play him the whole game.
Watch how many minutes Brunson and RJ play. Well, especially Brunson. He's going to run Brunson in the ground.
Brunson, 42, 8, and 6. Randall, 29, 8, and 10.
How many minutes? How many minutes for Brunson?
39.
39 minutes, bro.
Jeez.
39 minutes out of 48.
39 minutes. That's a lot.
39 out of 48 minutes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of minutes.
23 minutes for RJ Barrett. That's
okay.
But now you see this. Here's what I will say. I will say that Tibbs probably did that strategically because we're going to be in Toronto. And RJ
played Brunson for 40 minutes.
You played Brunson for 40 minutes. Yeah, but you're probably going to get the best out of that unit that I talked about earlier with RJ and that second unit.
But are you going to leave him out there?
I believe he will. At the point that he only played 23 minutes tonight, we shall find out. But he only played 23 minutes tonight. That's only
how many
half
minutes
of the
quickly
game.
played? How many minutes quickly played off the bench?
18.
All right, not bad.
Yeah, that's
18.
Fine.
That's good.
DiVincenzo, 22.
Not bad.
Hartenstein, 17.
Not bad.
So you're looking at the possibility of that unit getting the most run tomorrow. And if that unit is getting the most run tomorrow, that's a good look.
I'm just concerned about Siakam going off tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about Siakam.
Yeah.
Hartenstein's a good defender, but Siakam's a bad boy. That's a bad dude.
Yeah.
I'm not even concerned about Siakam.
Now,
y'all gonna
this
think I'm
kid,
crazy, but I'm worried about Dennis Schroeder.
This
Did you see the
kid.
pass he made tonight on the break?
Ooh.
Did you see the pass he made?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Between
No.
the wickets?
He threw that joint right between Kevin Durant's legs.
Right?
Now,
I mean, in stride.
this kid Cunningham killed us tonight.
Cade Cunningham. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's supposed to be that. So I'm not even mad at that.
He was their #1 draft pick. So
It's the Sasser kid. I'm like, who is this and why is he killing us right now?
and what's the other guy named? The other guy, he started hitting on him. Light-skinned dude. He started banging on him too. I was like, oh my gosh. Was it Haynes? That was his name? Haynes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Haynes. He started heating up. I'm like, okay, Knicks. All right.
Killian Haynes with 23.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, Knicks, let's get out on them. They're shooting.
And there was a Kevin Knox sighting tonight.
3-point play.
He scored his first point since being traded from the Knicks.
Because he didn't get no burn in Atlanta.
He didn't.
He got no burn.
Yeah, that kid looks like a white crayon.
What? Not a white crayon.
He has absolutely no pigmentation.
Listen, the Knicks messed up with that draft pick. They shouldn't have picked. There was no way they should have picked Kevin Knox. I forgot who we should have had that year.
Oh, I can tell you right now. Hold on a second.
We weren't supposed to pick Knox. And we like, wait a minute. Knox? Who's this?
I knew who he was, but I didn't think he was great in Kentucky.
I forgot who.
He was not even terrible.
I forgot who we were supposed to pick, but we weren't supposed to pick Knox.
That was the
That's 2018 draft. He was picked number 9.
He was picked number 9 in 2018.
Who came behind? Was that the no? That wasn't the Donovan Mitchell year. That was the Frank Ntilikina year when we didn't pick Donovan Mitchell and we picked Frank.
That was the year that we should have got Dennis Smith.
Yeah, yes. That was the year that LeBron was like, okay, what are y'all doing?
Right. Now Dennis Smith we should have picked up Dennis Smith that year.
Yes.
Not
the year that we picked Knox, right?
The year that we picked Knox.
Yes. And everybody thought we were going to pick Dennis Smith. Everybody thought that's the way we were going.
No, we go and trade for him when he's done.
When he's a journeyman.
Oh, my God. Same thing with Kemba Walker, yo. Like,
oh, no, Kemba was too small. He wasn't going to be able to take the pounding.
This Knicks front office is the worst.
Listen, we should do a team of the draft picks that never weren't. Man, you talk about an all-star. You talk about a team. Listen,
we could do a show on Knicks players who got rings after they left here.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that show.
You want to do that show?
No.
Because Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith would be at the top of the list.
2018 NBA draft. Number 1, DeAndre Ayton. Number 2, Marvin Bagley Jr. Or the third, who we saw tonight.
Yeah.
Who we saw tonight.
Number 3, Luka Doncic.
Whew.
To Atlanta.
Did y'all? Oh, not to interrupt you. Did you see what your boy did in Dallas today? Sold the team for $3.5 billion.
Well, he just stole. No, he's brilliant. He didn't even sell the entire team. He sold his majority stake. So he's still the minority owner, and he's still over basketball operations.
He's still over basketball operations.
So Cuban made $3.5 billion and stayed in charge.
That's a
brilliant businessman.
So he's still going to pay him. He's still getting paid.
Listen, I like Mark Cuban. I really
bought the team for $285 million, sold it for $3.5 billion. Yeah. Keep going. Just want to throw that in there.
Number 4 to Memphis, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yep.
Number
still
5,
still a good player.
Number 5, Trae Young. Number 6, Mo Bamba. Number 7, Wendell Carter Jr. Number 8 that year, Colin Sexton to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Colin Sexton.
Number 9,
he's pretty good.
Evan Knox.
Number 10.
And then it gets interesting. Number 10, McCall Bridges. Oh, it gets worse. Number 11, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 12, Miles Bridges. 13, Jerome Robinson. 14, Michael Porter Jr. 15, Troy Brown. 16, Zaire Smith. Number 17, Dante DiVincenzo. Number 18, Lonnie Walker. Number 19, Kevin Herter. Number 20, Josh Okogie. Number 21, Grayson Allen. Number 22, Chandler Hutchinson. Number 23, Aaron Holiday. Number 24, Anthony Simons. Number 25,
That's the boy that played out in Portland, right? For a while.
Mm-hmm. Number 25, Moritz Wagner. Number 26, Landry Shamet. Number 27, Robert Williams.
Landry Shamet. Yeah.
Number 28, Jacob Evans. Number 29, Zanin Musa. Number 30, Amari Spellman. In the second round that year, you had guys like, Elliot Kobo, Javon Carter, Jalen Brunson, Devontae Graham, Melvin Frazier, Mitchell Robinson, Gary Trent Jr., Kyrie Thomas, Bruce Brown, Hamidou Diallo.
Who has a ring, by the way?
Yep. Shake Milton, second round.
Could have made a case that he could have got MVP of the finals. He was very good for Denver. Could have made a case for him. But Bruce Brown, he was very good.
This second round, Elia Kobo, Javon Carter,
listen. I'm about to say, are you listening to these names?
Second round.
That's what I'm saying. Are you listening to these names that
they are all starters in the NBA right now?
That's what I'm saying.
And Jalen Brunson's on his way to being an all-star this year.
And they were chanting MVP tonight in the Garden.
Yep. And Kevin Knox was picked 9th. The next 2 picks after him are freaking McCall Bridges and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Leave it to the Knicks to screw it up. But notice, every time there's one of these terrible picks, there's always an all-star within the next 2 or 3 picks.
Listen, we already know the ultimate mess up was them passing on Ron Artest.
I'm still mad about that.
Frederick Weiss.
I remember watching that draft, sitting in front of my TV, and my mother was like, calm down, because I got excited when I realized Ron had fell to us. I said, Ron's coming home. He wanted to be a Knick. It made sense for him to be a Knick. And freaking Scott, that wasn't Scott. Who was that? Which GM was that?
That was Scott Layden.
Was that Scott Layden?
I believe so.
Scott Layden. Who picked Frederick? Let me check.
I believe it was Scott Layden, sir. I believe that's one of his gems. I believe that's Scott Layden. I believe he picked Frederick Weiss. And they were like, Frederick who?
Yo, the way the Garden booed that night.
Man.
Oh, my God.
And dude never
that was one of the last ones in the Garden.
He never came here to play. Never even came. Never showed up. Never came to the NBA. Yeah. And then Vince Carter just disrespected him. Just took his soul in the Olympics.
Yep.
It was Scott Layden, right?
Scott Layden.
Yeah.
Only to have his rights traded. The Knicks then traded his rights on August 29th, 2008 to the Houston Rockets, ironically for Patrick Ewing Jr.
And he never came to the NBA.
Nope.
Listen, Vince
I mean,
Carter
Patrick
took
Ewing Jr. never played for us either. So, I mean, other than that preseason.
Listen, he took his soul. He wasn't coming here.
Oh, Vince Carter
took his soul.
He
took his soul. He was a body snatcher. Body snatcher. So, listen, guys. What's your prediction for tomorrow night?
I think we're gonna win tomorrow night. I think we have it in us to win tomorrow night. I'm not.
The Knicks have it in them to win every night. They can play with anybody.
They can play with anybody.
Will they win tonight? Tomorrow night? They've been too up and down so far this season, and I think that continues. There is no consistency with this basketball team.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say I think they're going to drop tomorrow. They're going to fight. I think they're going to fight in the first half. And then Julius is going to get frustrated, start jacking up threes. And
I do appreciate that they've been a better home team so far this year.
Yeah, after dropping the first couple games of the year.
Seahawks lead the Cowboys 35-30. It's a shootout out over there.
I love it. I hope the Seahawks win. Oh, I'm hoping they win.
Listen, tomorrow's December 1st. You know that's the time that Dallas collapses every year.
We are 7-3 in the last 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what are the teams have been under 500? How many teams have been under 500? Or
all of them, all the wins.
All the wins have been under 500.
Yep.
Toronto's a sub 500 team.
Yeah, but they're sneaky. They're a sneaky sub 500 team.
And they've had good success against the Knicks recently.
Yes.
Granted, that was with Fred VanVleet running the show, but Dennis Schroeder's no slouch.
Yeah, I'm about to say Dennis Schroeder's no slouch. Yes. That's why I'm gonna say the Knicks they're gonna lose by like 5 or 6 tomorrow.
I don't think so. I think we're gonna win tomorrow. And I know that's a stretch because it is a back-to-back, but I think we're gonna win tomorrow. They're 9-10. We're 11-7. We have a good vibe going right now.
Oh, Bulls beat the Bucks tonight. Wow.
I think that RJ comes to play because of Toronto. That's hometown for him. He's gonna have a bunch of people in the stands in the arena. Yeah, I want to say that they're gonna beat Toronto. I don't think they're gonna beat them handedly. Now they do have a good record at home. They're 6-4 at home.
And I just think the only I'm going on. The Knicks have problems with teams with length. The Bostons, the Bucks, any of those teams with length on the front line that are long. You know, you had the law firm. You know, Jaylen Brown and
Tatum.
Tatum and Brown. They're long. You know,
and their junior partner Porzingis.
Yes,
now
junior partner Porzingis in the middle. They're long. You know, that you know, Julius has problems on the front line with long. He can't bully him. Abdel Nabi and Siakam, I'm concerned about them tomorrow. That's the only reason why. If not for that, the Knicks can outshoot them.
So now here's my thing. Toronto is 0-5 in the division. We're 0-2 in the division. I think that's what's going to be the determining factor. That's our division.
I mean, our 2 losses in our division were both to Boston. We haven't played it. This is our first game against someone in the division other than the Boston Celtics.
I believe that we will take care of business against our division. I want to
be wrong.
And Toronto's 0-5 in this division. We could beat them. I think we will. I don't think it'll be handedly, but I think we will. Did they play tonight?
No, they did not.
Right. And I believe that the factor
yesterday.
The player to
They
watch
beat
tomorrow.
Phoenix yesterday.
They beat Phoenix at home, didn't they?
They beat Phoenix at home yesterday. Yeah.
The player to watch tomorrow is RJ. He's the player to watch tomorrow.
I think RJ has a big game tomorrow night. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, the coach has been holding him back the past couple games, but RJ is trying to maintain that 20-point per game average. You know, and I think he comes out with a chip on his shoulder. I think Quickly bounces back. He too quickly has not had 2 bad games in a row this year, so I think Quickly bounces back off the bench. DiVincenzo, he shot well tonight, so he's been inconsistent with his 3 this year as well. So that's been the thing with the Knicks. If the Knicks are shooting threes well early, they will probably win the game. If it'll be a tell because they jack up 10 threes in the first quarter every game. If they're not hitting those threes early, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long.
They got to keep Siakam and Abdel Nabi off the boards.
Yes,
Mitch has to patrol, has to regulate the paint. Mitch has to regulate
as much as he can, because the Lord knows he has no help. Except for when Josh Hart's on the floor, because Josh Hart is the only other person that will crash the boards beside Mitch. It amazes me that Julius Randle rebounds as well as he does, because I rarely actually see him crashing the boards.
You got to realize those tapbacks are considered rebounds.
Yeah.
Siakam is averaging 19 points a game, 19.9, so 20 points a game, right?
Yeah, he's right about.
What is his rebounds?
9.
7.1. He's averaging 7
so
rebounds.
He's flirting with a double-double a night. He's flirting with it.
So we will see tomorrow night. It's going to be fun. We will be on tomorrow night. Y'all got church tomorrow night?
I do not. I got a post-convocation meeting at 12 noon. That's it.
That's noon. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah, no service for me.
But if you're in the New York area on Sunday at 3:30, I have to preach for our brother Bishop Jason McCants.
209 Rochester is the place.
209 Rochester, Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Meet them there in Brooklyn if you can.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a time, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But again, Knicks win tonight, 118-112 over the now 2-17. They've now lost 16 games in a row.
Draft lottery.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. They're tanking.
Draft lottery.
Monty Williams has brought in to rebuild that culture and everything, so that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, Monty's not going anywhere.
No.
They just gave him a big contract.
Yeah, they want him to rebuild that the way he rebuilt the Suns.
And they're going to be patient.
Yeah, as they should be.
Listen, they tried to get DeAndre Ayton there. They tried. They tried to get him, but I forgot what happened, but they tried to get DeAndre Ayton up in there. So
there's some young talent in Detroit. There is definitely some young talent in Detroit, and having a veteran guy like Alec Burks in your locker room definitely helps as well.
I always liked Alec Burks when he was here. Always like him.
Good locker room leader, good glue guy, gonna do the right things, gonna say the right things. He plays the game the right way. And Tibbs messed up because he was playing him out of position that year.
Playing him at point guard.
We ain't had no point guard, so that was the problem.
But Alec Burks at point guard?
Tibbs for coach of the year.
What were the options that year? The only other option at point that year was Elfrid Payton, who couldn't hit a barn. He couldn't hit the side of a barn.
I guess you're right.
If the choices are Alec Burks or Elfrid Payton, I'm picking Alec Burks. It's Alec Burks, Elfrid Payton, or Julius Randle as a point forward. Give Alec Burks the ball.
So tonight's scores are Portland Trail Blazers against the Cleveland Cavaliers, 103-95. Portland pulls it off. Charlotte Hornets, they win against your Brooklyn Nets, 129-128.
They had won 3 in a row up until that point too. Brooklyn did.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, Dre Rumble? Miami Heat smack up on the Pacers. Not really smacked them up. 142. Wait a minute.
They
A
wouldn't
lot
have.
of
They,
points.
they had a 3-game losing streak, so they needed that.
Miami needed that win.
Yeah,
Now,
but 142 points?
Indiana is not playing any defense.
That's NBA 2K numbers on creative player mode. Like, well, 142 points. Yo, what are you doing?
If you look at the Indiana Pacers box scores, you will see most of their scores are there. Indiana has decided not to play defense. They're just trying to outrun everybody because they're
Oh,
young,
my
long,
goodness.
athletic. So their game plan is not about defending anything. They're going to try to outscore you every night because they feel
Jesus.
like they have the pieces to be able to outscore teams. And in a regular season, they might get away with it. They went 4-0 in the in-season tournament, and they won their bracket running away. So
Who's that?
So Indiana. So it's working.
Miami. So Miami Heat,
It's not
142.
sustainable, but it's working.
Miami Heat, 142. Indiana Pacers, 132. That was a shootout. Chicago Bulls beat the Milwaukee Bucks, 120 to 113.
Upset
While I
of the
was in
night.
While I was in Milwaukee a couple of months ago, about a month and a half ago, I found out that Chicago and Milwaukee is actually a rivalry.
That's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yes.
That's a Midwest rivalry. Yep.
That's a rivalry.
That's the New York and Boston of the Midwest.
Yeah. Minnesota beat the Utah Jazz 101-90.
Not a surprise there.
Utah's rebuilding. Yeah.
Golden
Minnesota's
State.
hot.
I'm sorry, Oklahoma City Thunder. I really want to say Supersonics. I hate the Thunder, but
There will be a supersonic team in a year. Don't worry.
OKC beat the Lakers 133 to 110. These scores are really high.
There
I
is
mean,
no
listen,
defense being
OKC,
played.
what's their point guard name? What's their
I
point
need
guard?
90s. I need 90s basketball again, where you had to score 85 to
Giddey.
win.
Yeah, Josh Giddey, man. He's balling.
Josh Giddey is a 6'9" true point guard.
Yeah. Remember the days though? Remember the days where it was we got to keep them under 100. If we keep them under 100, we win in this game.
That was Nick basketball.
That was Nick basketball, man.
Ironically, the Knicks are still number one in the league in terms of points against. Teams are only averaging 105 against the Knicks this year.
Well, defense is never the problem. It's the guy. Yeah. The guy just doesn't know how to draw up an offense. That's not defense is not the problem. It's the fact that we don't know how to run anything but a hop screen, pick and roll, foul out, extended. That's all we know.
His focus is run the pick and roll, and the game is going to tell you what to do.
That's it. It's like a read. It's like doing a read option in football. That's what it is.
But if you notice in the NFL, this ain't college. The read option can't win a Super Bowl in the NFL. It's never going to do that.
San Antonio lost to the Atlanta Hawks 137 to 135.
They're competitive, but they're losing. They don't know how to win yet.
Yeah.
They don't know how to win yet. Third quarter.
Give Pop a year.
Third quarter, 61 to 50, Golden State over the Los Angeles Clippers. And of course, our Knicks won a game that we should have had like 140 something on these guys. 118.
When they went up 16, I said, okay, this is just what we need. We got another game tomorrow. And they just let Detroit hang around.
The combined point total was supposed to be 218 tonight. I know they didn't make that. That was supposed to be the combined point total between the Knicks and the Pistons.
If you took the over, you won some money.
Yeah. If you took the over, but if you did the combined points, you lost.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night.
And a lot of people took that combined point total because they were playing the Pistons because they were up 16. They're up 16. You're like, yeah, I'm on my way, baby.
Pistons said, nope. We're going to stay in this game and make y'all have to score some more points.
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
Tomorrow night, got some good games. Washington Wizards versus Orlando.
Orlando's winning that.
They are at Orlando.
Oh, they're getting tired of you. Are they getting tired of Jordan Poole and Washington guys?
Oh, they over him already. I've heard he's already on the trade block.
Yeah, they want him out of there.
Philadelphia.
Boston and Philly tomorrow night.
Philly and Boston tomorrow.
We're gonna have to keep our eyes.
It's like their third time playing already.
Yeah. Philly and Boston. We play Toronto in Toronto. Philly is playing Boston in Boston.
Nice.
Got
Memphis.
Yep.
Memphis is playing Dallas. San
Is Ja
Antonio.
Morant back? He's not back yet, right?
No, he's got like a 30 game suspension, something like that. So
It's going to be a while.
Still a ways to go. Yeah.
San Antonio is playing New Orleans. That means we're going to see Zion Williamson go off tomorrow. And Phoenix is playing Denver in Phoenix. That'll be a fun game to watch.
Triple double for Jokic, for the Joker. Triple double for the Joker. I'm calling it now. Triple double.
Probably.
Yeah. Triple double for the Joker. Even with Ja, I think Murray's out. Is he hurt? Is
Murray's out? Yes. Murray's out.
Yeah. Triple double for the Joker. Joker goes for a triple double.
Yeah, that might definitely.
Can you give me an update on that? I know this is basketball. Can you give me?
Wait. Murray might be back. He's been upgraded to a game time decision for tomorrow.
Great. That's gonna be if he's there. That's gonna be must watch.
Devin Booker is also a game time decision for Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Give me that update on that Cowboys game.
Right now. Oh, I just had it.
Cowboys 38, Seahawks 35. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
38-35.
And the Cowboys have the ball 1st and 10 on the Seattle 21.
Oh, come on, Pete Carroll.
Come on. Look, I will never trust Pete Carroll again after he didn't give Beast Mode the ball in the Super Bowl.
I have to agree with you.
I'll never trust Pete Carroll again. How do you not go to Marshawn Lynch on the 2-yard line?
Being cute. These coaches be overthinking.
You're a 2nd and goal from the 2.
You got at least 2 chances to try it.
And really 3 because it's 4
down
territory.
Going for it on 4th down, right?
Right,
You're going
it's 4
for
down
it on 4th
territory.
Yeah.
You've got 3 chances. And the interview I saw was that was the thing because they were expecting the run, but you forgot you're playing against Bill Belichick. He is one of the best defensive coaching minds in football history. He anticipated that play and literally they planned for that play.
Malcolm
they knew
took
y'all
that
were going to run it.
Malcolm took that ball, buddy.
They put Malcolm right in the spot.
he basically knocked him out the way and took the ball. That's what he did.
He didn't bite on the fake and was right there waiting for it.
They got to hold him to a field goal in order to have a chance.
Yeah.
They got to hold to a field goal.
But
December is my favorite month in sports.
Everything's going on, yeah.
Christmas Day for the NBA.
Christmas Day for the NBA.
Coming down the stretch for the NFL.
It starts
baseball winter meetings.
Baseball winter meetings. It starts heating up right now in college basketball.
Yeah.
December
all
is
the
my
Christmas
favorite
tournaments
month.
are coming up.
Yeah.
The Jimmy V Classic is going to be at the Garden. They just advertised it.
Yeah, that's great.
Jimmy V Classic. Yeah. North Carolina is going to be one of the teams there. So that's going to be good. You got a lot of North Carolina alumni here in New York.
True.
They'll be at the Garden for that.
Yeah.
Well, my eyes are going to be on the Big East Conference and the now Rick Pitino-led St. John's Red Storm.
Yes, I'm going to be very much into the Red Storm.
I'm looking for a resurgence this year for that program. Maybe not, top of the conference yet, but I definitely do believe there's going to be a resurgence for the.
Give him a year or two, he'll recruit. He's going to give him a chance to recruit.
Yep.
Pitino's been a winner everywhere he's gone. He's won.
Yep.
Louisville, he's won. So for him to get St. John's, that's big.
Listen, dude went to Manhattan last year of all places and got into the NCAA tournament. Pitino just wins.
Listen,
he just wins.
Let's hope Tibbs if we can't get Mark Jackson, let's bring Rick Pitino back. That used to be a rumor too that we were going to get Rick back. Remember that?
Yeah, but I don't think Pitino ever wants to come back to the NBA.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do NBA.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't want it either. I wouldn't
Guys
want
like him and Calipari, they're like, yeah, the NBA game's not for us. No.
Calipari makes more money as the Kentucky coach anyway.
And he's like the governor of Kentucky.
That's it. He runs Kentucky. So
Basically.
I wouldn't come back. Yeah. Well, all right.
Should be nice on the 5th. That's December 5th for the Jimmy V Classic, man. Probably. Let's see if we can get some tickets for that. I want to go there.
They got tickets available.
Yeah, there's some seats available.
North Carolina, UConn, Iowa.
Listen, we need to start looking at the calendar, man, Nick, before you know it. You know, we're going to be coming down the stretch of this NBA season. Let's start looking at which game we want to go to the Garden on. Because we know they're not making it to Vegas.
They might surprise you.
Listen, I can see them going in there and beating Milwaukee only because I know for Giannis and Dame, it's more important for them to be ready for the playoffs.
NBA championship.
Yeah.
That's why Dame was brought there, not for the in-season tournament.
Right. So, I could see that being a game where if the Knicks come out and punch them in the gut and get up big early, I could see Milwaukee being like, all right, whatever, y'all got it. We got bigger fish to fry. We're trying to win NBA championship. So that's what I would want the Knicks to do in that game against Milwaukee. They've got to come out and punch Milwaukee in the face in the first half, go up 20 early, and make Milwaukee make a decision. Do we want to try to get back into this game, or do we want to worry about our long-term goal, which is to win the NBA championship?
Do y'all see the way Brook Lopez is playing though?
Is there any doubt? Like Brook Lopez was never a bum. Never.
He's the Nets all-time leading scorer.
Right.
And I think people forget that. He's the Brooklyn Nets he's the Nets all-time leading scorer. Listen, just think, and Kyrie and KD were here all those years and never caught him.
Well, Kyrie and KD were also injured a lot of the time. Well, KD was injured. Kyrie missed half of a season because of COVID, and he wasn't even sick. He just refused to get a vaccination. So they didn't really. And that was the thing. You brought those guys here to play together, and they barely played together. And then forced their way out. I'd have been like, y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all going to give me one full season together and see what we can do.
That's what I would have did. One more thing. What do y'all think about the Clippers now? Because Donald Corey Ballard is just so happy that they're 2 games under 500 now.
I think that if the Clippers continue this mediocre play, that by mid-January, leading into the trade deadline, there will be a sell-off. That I'm anticipating a sell-off. I'll take Paul George. I'll take Paul George. I'm fine.
Because we definitely don't want James Harden here.
No, I don't want James Harden. I don't want Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, because Kawhi Leonard only going to play 10 games for you in the second half.
Right. So I'll take Paul George. And I know they were trying to get Paul George, but I believe the Clippers asking price during the offseason was too high. But if they're selling off in January, I can see the Knicks revisiting that.
Give them those draft picks. Give them
Grimes, Fournier, and 2 of them draft picks.
And some money.
Get Paul George in here. Slide RJ down to the 2. Play Paul George at the 3. And then you've got Brunson, RJ, Paul George, and Julius and Mitch. You ready to make a run at that point?
I'm ready.
At that point, you're ready to make a run.
I'm ready. And let's just hope Tibbs doesn't run him in the ground.
Yeah, that's the thing. But Paul George is a guy who could be a missing piece on this team, because while it doesn't give you a superstar, it gives you essentially a 4th all-star on your team.
Now they consider Paul George like one of the top 10 in the league, man. People got him as a top 10 in the league.
Why?
They do. They do. They do.
I hear you. I believe what you're saying.
I'm not saying me.
Yeah, right. But I believe that they say that. But
well, who's in front of him?
At his position alone, firstly, LeBron's still in front of him.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's one.
Kevin
Durant's in front of him.
Okay. We said 10.
Kawhi Leonard's in front of him.
Kawhi don't play. Can't
Kawhi
put
don't
him.
play.
But Kawhi doesn't play. But in terms, if Kawhi did play, that's what.
Yeah,
those lists
but
are
he
based
doesn't
on
play.
usually.
We talk about right now. He don't play.
Okay.
You can't put Kawhi there.
Okay, so all right, let's take Kawhi out. But you got LeBron, you got KD. Let's see. Ahead of Paul George, just at his position. Who else would I put ahead of Paul George?
It's taking a long time to think.
So I'm telling you, bro. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. They said, I mean, and I had to think about it too. I'm like, top 10. Even if you do top 10 players, you got Booker. I don't think Booker's that much better than Paul George.
No. I don't either.
I think Booker, to me, they put a lot more on him than he really is to me.
And
I think he's
and Booker's not the defender that Paul George is.
No.
And for me, I think that's why Paul George is a good fit for the Knicks if they were to make that deal, because he's gonna play.
Who you gonna put? You gonna put Levine over him? Come on.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Paul George is top 10 in the league right now, buddy. He's top 10.
Small forwards.
He's top 10. Even top 10 players, period, L.
Jason Tatum is on
Jason
that bracket.
Tatum.
Okay, Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
He's better than Jaylen Brown. Yes, he is.
Well, Jaylen Brown's playing the 2 right now, anyway.
Jimmy Butler.
Interchanging them sometime.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
I'll take him over JB.
Jimmy Butler's a 2, really.
Yes,
and
I would take him over Jimmy. And I would take him over JB. He's more skilled than Jimmy Butler. Y'all know he's more skilled.
I agree with that. No, I agree with you. I agree with that. I would take him over Jimmy Butler.
Come on, he's more skilled.
Okay.
Who else you got?
You're taking a long time, Bishop. You're taking a long time there, Bishop.
So let's look at this. You got Jason Tatum is LeBron James.
Tatum, Braun. We agreed on that.
Yep, we said that.
We agree with that.
No argument.
I want to add Jimmy Butler to that because Jimmy Butler led his team to the
Yeah, but we talking about skill. We talking about skill. We talking about team.
And Jimmy Butler was the leader of that team, but Eric Spoelstra led that team to the
yes.
DeMar DeRozan.
Get out of here! Are you really
better
those
than
words?
DeMar DeRozan's not better than
You really said DeMar DeRozan over Paul George.
Now, don't get me wrong. DeMar DeRozan is the master of the mid-range. I will absolutely give that to him. But all around, better than Paul George?
No way. Curry, we say Curry is better.
Paul George is a top 3 small forward in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the third.
He's a
best
top 3 small forward, top 10 player in the NBA. They say
right now.
Yeah, he is.
I give it to you. Yeah, no argument from me.
So again, if the Clippers,
and that's why what you saying, Bishop D'Lo, that's why the Knicks need to be in the hunt.
I agree.
If they're selling off to get this guy,
I wholeheartedly. That's why I said, listen, to get if they're selling off and we can get Paul George, I'm giving up Grimes. I'm giving up Fournier. And if he's healthy, I'm giving up 2 number 1s and some money.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. I'm in agreement with that.
Come on,
I'm in agreement with that too.
If we can get because Paul George would be the type of player that's going to push us into the championship conversation. With the team that we have, as long as we don't give up anybody else in that starting lineup, that he's the type of player that pushes us into that conversation.
Oh, and there you go. The Knicks front office is going to give away the entire team and 4 fans.
We're gonna get traded.
We're gonna get traded from Paul George. We're gonna give up the entire team.
We'll be doing church guys, and the theme will be the LA Clippers.
Right.
Oh, no, that would make Corey Ballard's day.
Oh, by the way, there's been a request, Butler.
Okay.
An acquaintance of yours wants to come on the show. Everybody want to come on our show now. It's so funny. I'm like,
who wants to come on the show now?
Wait,
Jesse.
Is Jesse Moore? Jesse Moore.
We had Jason on the show.
We had Jason on last show.
Y'all finally let him in.
It was actually a good discussion.
It was good. It was good.
We talked a little Mark Jackson, which was very good and insightful.
Which we actually need him for that conversation because he's in close with Mark. But Jesse Moore wants to come on the show. We'll bring Jesse Moore on the show when we
I don't
play
want any
against
Sixer
Philly.
fans on the show.
No, I mean, listen, we can bring guys in that are fans of whatever team they're on.
Oh, absolutely.
We can bring them. We can bring them.
What I don't like about these guys is that they try to make it seem like we're homers, and we are so objective. We are the most objective Knicks fans that I know. We're not on here being homers. We killed this team.
We killed them tonight, and they won.
Right. We absolutely killed the Knicks. And these guys are like acting like we are just the biggest homers. That's what I don't like.
Right.
So we don't come on when they lose. And like, what are you talking about? I had to tell. I'm glad you came on. You said we don't come on Sundays. It's church.
No, we preachers. We don't come on Sundays. We don't have time.
Unless it's the playoffs.
Did Jesse talking about? But it's Monday. Yeah, but the Knicks ain't
the game
playing
was
tonight.
yesterday. Right. The game was Sunday.
They just be trying to search and find. And I told Corey, I said maybe you need to start a Clippers podcast. I said so all
nobody will watch that.
So all 10 of y'all fans could come on.
Nobody's gonna watch that. And after they start selling off in January,
he's the only Clipper fan I know outside of LA. I don't know nobody else.
Let's have Corey on after the sell-off starts.
Oh my God, guys, it's been a great show.
Great show.
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half. I'm gonna have to cut this stuff down for spot.
Are we? So tomorrow, what we doing?
We're on tomorrow night.
We're on tomorrow night.
We don't have church tomorrow. I'm on tomorrow.
Right, we're on tomorrow night post game tomorrow night after the Knicks and the Toronto Raptors. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight. Those who watch live, those who check it out tomorrow, those who will pick up the podcast. We appreciate you. Continue to like, comment, share. Like our page here on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're running a contest. We'll talk some more about that tomorrow night because it's running late. Once again, as always, orange and blue skies over New York City. Knicks win 118-112. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Have a good night, everyone.